It's falling over you. There's nothing you can do. You know there's nothing angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more. Old enough to lose. Still you got to choose. Young enough to live for something you can't win. You know there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more. Looking for your paradise again. But the righteous are the ones who's giving in. Oh, there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more.
Welcome back, guys. Glad so many of you enjoyed the last video. You think that one was good? We have a really good one for you tonight. But first, like the video and make sure you subscribe if you have not yet. Now let's get on with the show. Prosecutors leading the case against Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 Idaho college students last fall, are asking for his trial to be scheduled for the summer of 2024, and that the time frame of the trial steers clear of the academic calendar for all area high schools and universities. In a new filing Thursday, prosecutors note Moscow High School's close proximity to the courthouse, especially in light of the expected media presence and other increase in activity whenever the capital murder trial does kick off, and want to preserve public safety and convenience as much as possible. Prosecutors also said Kohberger's team has already had enough opportunity to offer an alibi, and asked that the judge consider the matter addressed and closed. They also asked that deadlines be set for both parties to complete discovery, pre-trial motions, and to disclose who they're planning to call for expert witnesses, as well as for jury questionnaire proposals, jury instructions, and the like. The trial was originally set to begin on October 2, and was indefinitely delayed after Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial. In their new filing Thursday, prosecutors suggested that the judge now put a status conference on the books to schedule everything anew. No firm date for the trial has yet been set. The University of Idaho's spring semester ends on May 10, 2024. Moscow High School's classes end in the first full week of June. Prosecutors allege that in the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University, broke into an off-campus home and stabbed to death the University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, 20, Madison Mogan, 21, Zana Kernodle, 20, and Kaylee Goncalves, 21. After a 6-week hunt, police zeroed in on Kohberger as a suspect. He was arrested on December 30, 2022, at his family's home in Pennsylvania. He was indicted in May and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. He declined to offer a plea at his arraignment, so the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Lawyers for Kohberger have previously said he was driving around alone on the night when the killings occurred and wasn't in the home. If convicted, Kohberger could face the death penalty.
Into our newsroom, it's body camera video of a search warrant being executed at Bryan Kohberger's WSU apartment. He's accused of killing Xana Cornodal, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez back in November.
Police department, search warrant, come to the door.
So in this newly released video, you can't see much. Officers redacted quite a bit of the footage to preserve their case against him, but you can see them enter his apartment and file away a few things. From an unsealed search warrant, we know some of what they took. A black disposable glove, multiple suspect hair strands, including an animal hair strand. That's notable because it doesn't seem like Kohberger had a pet, and one of the victims did own a dog. A dark red spot in the apartment sampled for testing, reddish-brown stains found on a pillow, and multiple mattress covers with stains. Kohberger's next scheduled court date is June the 26th.
We know he's a monster, and Dolly Vision will be there live to cover the court case in summer of 2024. Now this next guy is even a bigger monster. Accused serial killer Rex Heuermann's wife was all smiles during a visit to her local bank. Her first public appearance since lawmakers moved to block her whopping $1 million documentary deal. Asa Illerup has come under fire in recent weeks as family of her husband's alleged victims claim that she's attempting to profit off their tragedy by agreeing to film an all-access Peacock docuseries ahead of Heuermann's trial. But the Iceland native appeared unbothered and in good spirits when she was spotted walking into a branch of Bethpage FCU near her home in Massapequa Park, Long Island, on Thursday morning. Wearing a green coat and black pants, Illerup was seen smiling as she stepped out of her red SUV and walked inside the building. The 60-year-old also appeared to still be wearing her wedding ring, despite filing for divorce from Heuermann days after his July arrest. Illerup stopped inside the bank for a few minutes and was pictured texting intently on her way back to her car before driving back in the direction of her home. The sighting marked the first time Illerup has been seen publicly since 2 New York lawmakers announced plans to derail her deal with Peacock. The documentary crew was not seen with her on Thursday. The NBC-owned streaming service confirmed their collaboration with Illerup late last month. Speculation of a tell-all documentary first arose when Illerup was spotted with a TV crew during one of Heuermann's court hearings in mid-November. Okay, Turtle Gang, if you have made it this far and have not hit the like button yet, please do so. Also, if you're super cool and not a baby gap, share this video on your Facebook. You think that last story was crazy? Check out this one. Deputies arrested a 53-year-old man this week on suspicion of raping a 10-year-old child. In a news release, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff Tim Soignet said the 10-year-old victim reported the abuse on Tuesday, December 19, and the Sheriff's Office Patrol Division was called in to a local school to investigate. Investigators gathered evidence and determined Laurence Voisin had allegedly been in a sexual relationship with the child. The victim reportedly told deputies about the sexual encounters the child had with Voisin. Terrebonne detectives from the Special Victims Unit interviewed the victim further. Detectives found substantial evidence which led to the arrest of Voisin at his home. He was booked into the Terrebonne Parish Jail on 2 counts of first-degree rape and remains held on $250,000 bond. The sheriff's office did not disclose the relationship between Voisin and the child. Sheriff Soignet said in a statement, "Our detectives are working closely with the victim and family to bring a resolution to this unfortunate investigation. As always, we ask for patience and privacy for the victim and those affected by this investigation." Clermont County, Ohio. A trial date has been set for the father accused of murdering his 3 sons in Clermont County. The 4-week trial has been set for July 8th till August 2, 2024. Chad Doermen is accused of murdering his 3 young sons at their home on Laurel-Lindale Road in Monroe Township. Doermen was indicted on 21 charges, including 9 counts of aggravated murder. If convicted, he faces the death penalty. Prosecutors said Doermen had planned the murders for months, and then on June 15th, he came home early from work and had his wife and their 3 boys join him for a nap in the couple's bedroom. Doermen is then accused of getting up, grabbing a rifle from a gun safe, and shooting his children, 7-year-old Clayton, 4-year-old Hunter, and 3-year-old Chase. Doermen was arrested on his porch.
He should never see daylight again, ever in his life. And I think they should execute him the same way the same way he did his sons is the way he needs to go out.
Okay, so we have a lot of court cases coming up, and Dolly Vision will be there live to cover most of these cases. Well, as many as we can. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Let me tell you one thing that also is a crime, and that's to leave your skin dry. Make sure you check out Dolly Soap. Best soap in the game. Go to www.dollysoap.com. Don't forget to check out all of the merch. Also, we have a great line of sunglasses that just came out. These sunglasses will allow you to see in the future. You will see just like Dolly does, better than 4K. Dolly Vision, baby.
What is up, Turtle Gang? It is good to see you. I am glad you guys enjoyed that video. I actually made that video just a couple days ago. I actually made it right before, I think on Christmas, but I didn't have a chance to get it out. So I figured I'd come up here, air that video. Stacy, thank you so much.
You deserve a super chat. Well done.
Dolly Vision, baby, right? Dolly Vision, don't be a baby gap. Share this video. Like this video, all those good things. So, you know, we were streaming earlier about Karen Reed. Some really good calls came in earlier today, too, on that case. You know, it was just a basic update of the Turtle Boy situation. So apparently his admins are still running his channel. I noticed that today they're still going to use that channel for the Free Karen Reed movement, Justice for John O'Keefe. It's horrible to see that channel say justice for John O'Keefe because they don't want no justice for John O'Keefe, okay? They want the lady that has hurt John O'Keefe free. That does not make no sense to me. Most of the evidence point that some tragic accident has taken place and John O'Keefe has lost his life. Real justice would be for this lady to come out, tell the truth, that she may have backed into John O'Keefe and he lost his life that way, okay? It would end a lot of the conspiracy stuff, and that's a lot of the things we were talking about earlier today. But look, I got Cox cable. It must be the worst internet in the world. So my internet must have went out 20 times while I was trying to do the live stream with you guys earlier and touch in on all this stuff. You know, Turtle Boy has officially spent his first full day incarcerated. You know, that absolutely has to suck for him, okay? Absolutely has to suck for him. If he didn't know the word trays yesterday, he knows them today. So he has his next court appearance is in 30 days, okay? He will go back in front of the judge, and I don't know if he'll get a bond at this point or what will occur. Most likely he has a good lawyer. If nothing else comes out, you know, exposing him to being a terrible person, which, like I said, I've been getting message after message of bad stuff that Turtle Boy has done to people. Okay. Karma is real in this world. Karma is real. Does this help the Karen Reed case at all? Right? Does this help Karen Reed being tied in to some grimy dude that is just constantly out there breaking the law? Because Karen Reed wants to play it off like she's a good law-abiding citizen. and she has nothing to do with this. She don't really want to tie herself to somebody that's constantly out there breaking the law, right? Like Turtle Boy, assaulting women, allegedly. This is allegedly. Okay, it's allegedly at this point. Trigger warning, people, you know. And yeah, he ain't going nowhere no time soon. That is the update on him. Of course, his turtles are rallying behind him. You know, like he can do no wrong, right? Everything's part of the conspiracy. Now, listen, listening to the tape, we don't really know what transpired. It's hard to tell. It's like listening to one side of things. Now, I ain't saying Turtle Boy put his hands on this woman. It could be a setup, right? But the rest of the things up until this wasn't a setup. He really committed those crimes. He was really harassing those witnesses, okay? Now, if this girl has just made some stuff up to get him locked up, hey, that's the price you pay as a man for dating crazy ass women, okay? It's happened to me. I've had women make up stuff on me, get me locked, slam up. But when you have your day in court, you get to go in there and prove it that you're innocent, and then that's it. But as a man, you date a crazy woman, you could end up in jail for possibly something you didn't do. Now, she says Turtle Boy shoved her. You know, I don't know. Listening to the call, it sounded like she wanted him to stay. It didn't sound like a physical thing. It sounded more like crying and arguing. But like I said, we don't know what happened before it. We don't know what happened after it. We just know what transpired in that call, okay? But the judge seen it. He listened to it. And he thought it was enough that he revoked Turtle Boy's bond. Now, he walked out like a tough guy. You know, he walked out that jail like a tough guy. But I guarantee you this, he wasn't so tough when he got up in there. When you up in there, ain't nobody want to hear about your problems. Nobody wants to hear about you being wrongly convicted. Everybody in there thinks they're wrongly convicted. Okay, that's one thing he'll have in common with the real criminals in there. They all believe they were wrongly convicted. Okay, nobody in jail is guilty. You'll find that out quick. Okay, man, I'm innocent. I don't know why I'm in here. Dude's gonna look at you and be like, yeah, man, I'm innocent too. I don't know why I'm in here. Nobody wants to take responsibility for the shit they do. That's the problem with the world. You go out, break the law, do your damn time, shut up. You know, one thing in there, he can't play victim. All right. As soon as you start playing victim, you're going to be a victim. Simple as that. Okay. Now, I ain't been locked up in Boston, and I'm just assuming that it's rougher than it is here. Unless he's in some little shit hole town that got, you know, 3 people in the jail, and they're all named Daryl. This Daryl, my other brother Daryl, my cousin Daryl. I mean, I don't quite know. You know, I've never been locked up in the situation he's in. I just know any jail, any cage, no matter where it's at, once your freedom is taken and that bar goes, it don't matter at that point. It's all brick walls and collect calls. For Turtle Boy, okay? Well, now these days, you know, they do have a phone where you can like live stream from it, like Skype. So when you're in jail, you can actually Skype people and things of that nature. Now, we do know if he tries to Skype from the jail, this is what's going to happen to him. Before it even happens, don't let Dolly play psychic again. So as soon as he gets one of his people to Skype him, somebody's going to complain about it. They're going to call the jail, say he's doing it, he's live streaming, and they're going to shut him down doing any video calls. Okay. So let me tell you, this is another thing you heard here first. Okay. This is what's going to happen to him, because I've seen this happen to other people already. Remember, who was it? Frank Hill. He was calling out live streaming from the jail, and somebody called the jail. They shut that shit down. Okay. They took his privileges away. He could use the phones, but he couldn't use the video stuff anymore. Heather M has become a new member. Boop. Thank you, Heather M. Okay. And just a little bit away from the Turtle Boy subject, because we've been, you know, that's like kicking a dead horse at this point. He's in jail. No matter how hard turtle riders you try, he ain't going nowhere for the next 30 days. You got to accept that, move on. move on. The Bryan Kohberger stuff, right? So, I've been trying to plan what's going to go down this summer as far as where we're going to be, what cases I'm going to cover. Now, I never know what missing person is going to be because they're not missing yet. So, I always, things can change when somebody comes up missing. But my plan so far is, at the end of May, we're going to do Crime Con. Okay, Crime Con, the end of May. So if you're in Nashville, come hang out with me. I believe it's May 31st through June 2nd. Okay, will be me, PJ, Lolo. We will be at Crime Con in Nashville. So you can come out and see this ugly face if you want. All right. And then I'm thinking August, they say in summer 2024 is going to be Bryan Kohberger. Okay. Bryan Kohberger. So that puts it right around my birthday. I will fly out to Idaho, sit in on the Bryan Kohberger case a little bit, come back with y'all, give you my opinions on what I've seen, what I experienced, what I think, all that good shit, right? Shortly, I believe after March, the Leilani Simon stuff, golden tickets are already sold out. Gold tickets are already sold out. Okay. Well, I don't know who has all that kind of money. It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey on the whole Crime Con. I have to admit, it's a little pricey. But what they did at the last one was they issued 1-day tickets where you could buy it for 1 day. Because if you bought like the weekend, it was somewhere in the $120, $200 range for a ticket. But then they ended up doing it where you could get a ticket each day and things like that. So whatever day we decide, if you're in Nashville, come out, hang out with us, all that good stuff. I'm sure it'll be a good time, and we will be broadcasting from Crime Con 2024. I'm here late. Hey, Truth Seeker. PJ, thank you for that information. So anyway, my biggest thing about the whole Bryan Kohberger thing, and I wanted to say this earlier today, but my live stream kept messing up, was, I'm so curious about what Dylan is going to say and why she didn't call the police whatsoever in this case. Actually, how could you, here's my thing, is like, how did she go out the house and not know? How did she faint after seeing it? That's one of those things, she didn't faint when she seen the intruder. Okay. And the whole thing about tearing the house down, I really don't think they should tear this house down yet. If they do tear it down, I think it helps more of the prosecution than it does Bryan Kohberger. I think as Bryan Kohberger's defense, I would want that house to be there because she would have had clear range. Everybody in the house would have been able to hear it. And I think you could prove that if the house is still there, right? We heard from a doorbell cam, and I don't even know if this is true. This might be just some false information, and I still don't know. But there was a doorbell that captured some noise, okay? And if it's capturing noise outside the house, you're able to hear that inside the house. So she basically sat there and listened to her friends be murdered, okay? No, I don't think they no. What it was this is what I believe. Somebody else came in. The roommate didn't even call the police. She fainted. Okay. One of the neighbors took the phone and called the police. And they were coming because there was an unconscious person. They didn't know there was dead bodies until they literally got in the house. That's how the police reports are worded. That they didn't even know there was a dead body. They came there under the call of an unconscious person that one of the roommates had fainted. Okay. And I believe that to be Dylan. And she went outside, she fainted. And then the neighbor called the police. And you know, there was other people in that house. Okay. Because, you know, look, we can speculate a little bit. I believe they may had some illegal things in that house. I don't know, you know, bongs, a little bit of weed, or maybe a little bit of Colombian bam bam or something of that nature. And they needed time to get it out the house. So they were scared to call the police. Or Bryan Kohberger is innocent. And Bethany and Dylan, you know, this is just a crazy theory, have murdered their roommates and have planted evidence. And Bryan Kohberger is being railroaded. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I lean more towards Bryan Kohberger did it. These girls had drugs in the house. They waited to get the drugs out the house, and then they called the police. They knew that their friends were in that house dead. I truly believe that. Okay? They didn't just lay down and go to sleep. They knew their friends were dead. They heard that murder. 100. That's what I believe. If somebody could explain to me how you can witness a man in your home, okay, in a mask, with a knife in his hand, walk past you, and you do not report that to authorities. You froze. You froze for 8 hours. It's impossible. The thing is, she didn't even go lock the door after the intruder left. He walked literally right past her. Why didn't he kill her? Some people say he was hyper focused or he was in a hurry to get out of there. I don't know. That is a possibility. But why not call the police? You know, there's this, you know, even if you went and hid, you know, even if you went and hid, she didn't say that though. She said she went back to bed. Even if she would have went and hid, how long do you hide before you call for help when you have a cell phone? Some people could say, well, what if her cell phone was in the other room? Well, how was she texting the roommates and things? She had her cell phone. Nobody ever leaves their cell phone. It's always glued to their hip. It's like one of those things. You got to have it with you at all times. So let's just say she freaked out and she ran and she hid somewhere. Okay. She's hiding. Why not dial 911? You don't even got to say nothing. They'll locate where your cell phone is and they're going to send police. She didn't do that. Right. And this is the biggest thing that Bryan Kohberger could use in his defense. Is that's the only thing I think he got, is why didn't these people do anything? If they witnessed me do it, why didn't they call for help or anything? That puts that doubt. You know, if you're a jury member and you're sitting there and he's there, you're like, well, why didn't she call for police? Why didn't she call for help? What, you know, you're like, damn. I mean, I don't know if it's enough doubt to not convict Bryan Kohberger, but it's enough to make you think, what about even if they start pushing the lack of evidence? Okay, that there's no blood in his car. There's no blood in his apartment. They say they found some things, but it's not been confirmed what it is. It hasn't came back as human DNA or anything like that that we know of at this present time. So they start pushing this lack of evidence. This girl didn't call the police. She eyewitnessed. She seen a murder take place, seen the murder and still didn't report it. That's a little bit of doubt right there. You know, that is a little bit of doubt. I still think Kohberger, you know, he's going to be found guilty. And this is supposed to be like, they're preparing, you know, like the video said, to go ahead and push this when stuff's out of school. Because they know it's going to be a bunch of media. They know there's going to be a bunch of crazy YouTubers out there like Dolly. Okay. I hope they got good food. But at least, you know, when I watched Betty and everybody out there, you know, it was wintertime and it looked cold as shit. At least this is going to be in August. It's going to be warm. And I ain't got to worry about freezing to death out there. Dolly get cold easy. Okay. I got thin ass blood. So, and then, you know, what else did we cover in that video we watched? The Chad Doermen stuff, right? What a damn monster that dude is. They need to pull that dude's toenails out. You know, that's the dude that planned and executed, trigger warning people, the murder of his 3 sons, which is horrible. And, you know, we watched him in court crying and things of that nature, and he was just crying. But by the next court appearance, he looked like a stone cold killer, right? A stone cold killer is what Chad Doermen looked like. Lack of emotion, anything. I think when he was crying that day in court, he wasn't crying for the loss of his boys. He was crying because he lost his freedom. And that's why we seen Chad Doermen bawling and crying. But like I said, by his second court appearance, he wasn't crying. He was making little jokes with the judge and shit. And I'm thinking, this dude right now, this is one of these things that is a problem with our society. I hate to say it, is this dude needs to be drug out back of that jail and executed. Just like, you know, like we heard in the video, just like he did his boys. When there's no doubt in this world that you did something horrific like this, I mean, we need to go back to the barbaric days of feeding people to lions. That's what I believe. And you wouldn't have all this crime. You sitting there do something crazy and they feed you to a lion. You watch that on televised TV one time. It's going to make you think twice before you do something crazy. You know, that dude is an absolute monster. And of course, the other clip in that video was about Rex Huberman and his wife making money. So, $1 million deal to give an inside look into the life of being married to a serial killer. And, you know, they're trying to stop this. They don't want this lady to get rich and profit off other people's tragedies, you know. But she is not the killer, you know. She is not the serial killer. I believe at this point she has the right to talk about whatever in this world she wants to talk about. And if she wants to make money off of it, she should be able to make money off of it. Now, if she participated in any of it and they can prove she did, then of course she shouldn't be able to make money off of it. But, you know, they were doing these crazy swinger parties and things like this. And there is some evidence that some of her DNA was found at a crime scene. Now, did she have any parts in this? Right? Is she just like Rex? And she was like, you know, they're getting their freak on, like Missy Elliott would say, get your freak on, get your freak on. And part of that getting their freak on was murdering prostitutes. I mean, I know that's crazy to say, but hey, sometimes you went it together. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bonnie and Clyde. They were robbing banks together. Maybe Rex and his old lady were chopping chicks up together, strangling girls. You know, what are we going to do this week, babe? Strangle somebody, you know? Sounds crazy. But if she didn't have any parts in it, then she has every right in this world to sell her rights to Netflix, to Peacock, to damn Amazon, to whoever she wants to. Write a book, do TV shows, as long as she didn't have no parts in the crime. Now, I don't know if they're going to be successful in stopping her from doing this show. And to be honest with you, I would watch it. All right, if you would watch it, press 1 in the chat. I would get on Peacock and watch this shit. Because I'm one of those people, I'm curious. I'm kind of curious about that life of how did you not know that he was killing all these women and how did he act? And we'll get a really good insight. So I'm hoping that they do put it out. And look, I ain't a hater. I wouldn't want to see Rex get rich off of it. You know what I'm saying? But look, his wife, if she didn't do nothing and she had to deal with it, you know, and she's living with that damn hoarder, because that's what they say, they're hoarders, then more power to her. I know this, with $1 million, she's going to be able to have some freaky parties, okay? As long as you don't invite me, lady, we good to go. We good to go. I don't want to come to none of your freak fest, okay? Freak fest. Now she's a millionaire. Millionaire freak fest. I don't know. You know, Rex, he's never getting out. He's done. That's a wrap. Kohberger, for everybody that thinks he's going to get off, nah, I don't see that happening whatsoever. Karen Reed, you know, we discussed this. I still haven't had a chance to add the guy that called in earlier, Detective John. Is that what he said his name was? I'm going to have to go check out his channel. I believe it's going to be hard. I believe the Karen Reed conviction is a hard one. And I do think in the end, she will take some plea deal. Okay. Because, you know, one, Turtle Boy ain't helping her out none. Now in the eye of public opinion is going to shift. See, right then they had, you know, the public that was showing up thought, hey, you know, free Karen Reed. But look, more people have been hitting me up from Boston and in that surrounding area, thanking me for doing these videos because these people have been tortured, you know, and nobody's taking up for these people. Everybody's jumping on the Turtle Boy bandwagon and harassing these people. So all the people that have joined up that, you know, appreciate the truth in this and not just some bandwagon jumping for clicks and views, I appreciate the support. Okay. My book, some proceeds would be donated. Dolly gets Skyfox on. I don't know who Skyfox is. Okay. So look, I don't plan on being here too long with you guys. I just wanted to drop that video, come up here, chop it up just a few minutes with you. I'm not going to be here long today. PJ is on her way over. I got some other things that I need to take care of. But of course, I will be back with you live later tonight. Okay. So until then, I'm getting out of here, people. You be good. I'll see you next time. Peace.